What is good, everybody? I am absolutely cursed. I am cursed because Marco has been one of my favorite characters in all of One Piece for a long time, so I have decided to try to make him meta. And it hasn't really been going so well until I found this build right here. Now, this build, I will say, is a lot better than the other builds that I've been playing. I've played probably about 200 games of Marco, and I have finally settled on this build for right now until the starter decks are released. Literally for the past 2 weeks, I've been watching Big Bang Theory on my left monitor and the simulator on my right monitor, and I have just been trying to make it freaking work. And I've been testing, and I've been grinding, and I've been doing these little ratio tweaks, and I have come to this. Well, there you go right there. We got, oh, that's very big right there. We got the deck list. So this is my Marco deck list. It is a Warlord deck list mixed with a little bit of board control, and I'll talk to you about the strengths that I see and a little bit of the weaknesses that I see. The first weakness that I see, let me go ahead and put this on the right side. The first weakness that I see for Marco is it is literally the most fragile deck. Bro, I feel like this deck dies so quickly, man. And that's the reason that we're playing Pilaf, right? So this deck is a 4-life leader that is a very reactionary deck, right? So what this means is we are going to be giving characters minus 2,000 power once they are rested. So that means they have to attack first. So we don't really have a whole lot of ways to like manipulate their board unless you're playing something like Jet Pistol or like Sea Quake or like the Fire Fist engine, which this version does not, because I don't think right now it's that great. But in the future, when the starter deck gets released, I could definitely see it being a lot more useful in that way. However, the reason that I think this deck list is good is because we play a lot of cards that replace themselves, right? So, for example, we have Sengoku that replaces itself. We have Gecko Moria, which replaces itself. Pilaf is a +1. Then you have Weevil, which replaces itself, and then Pudding can obviously also like even the tides. And then we're also playing 11 2Ks, I believe it is. We're playing 4 Mihawk, we're playing 4 Law, and then we're playing 3 Jozu. And then we're playing 2 of the zero cost events, because we are playing some dead cards in here. We're playing 3 Kid Killer, 4 Ace, that's 7, 11, 15. Yeah, total of 15. So two zero cost is totally fine, as well as the cycle with your leader effect. Now, the reason that we're playing the Warlord engine is because I think Marco actually has a really good its leader effect is fantastic at controlling the board, but the problem is the characters for the Whitebeard Pirates are just not able to stick to the board that consistently, and also like they're just so negative that like you just end up with 2 or 3 cards in hand basically from the beginning of the game, and you start losing basically right away. So I tried to find a way that I can take control of the game early and also have some pressure to end the game late, which is exactly where these 7 rush cards come in handy. The Ace is there to clear the board and also just to go for game. Kid and Killer is usually just there to go for game, and this card has won me so many games against decks like Lucci and decks like Pudding and things like that. This deck gets absolutely 100% smashed by Calgara, though. Calgara smashes this deck. There's nothing you can do. Zoro is also pretty unwinnable, I'm not gonna lie. The new Zoo Zoro. But yeah, this deck's really powerful. I'll go ahead and show you guys some games of it with some commentary, and then let me know what you guys think. So by the way, guys, you're gonna see the Crocodile 2K instead of the Mihawk. I was looking at the deck list, and I was whenever I was almost done recording, and I was like, why am I playing Crocodile instead of Mihawk? I like forgot Mihawk existed, so that's why I didn't. That's why I was playing the Crocodile at first, but Mihawk just replaced the Crocodile, so don't worry about that. What I really like about this deck in particular, when it in terms of Marco, is how consistent it is able to find the Warlord engine. I think that's really powerful, because you have the Sengoku, you have your extra draw per turn, especially if you have the starter deck Nami. It just feels like you have a really good opportunity to like find your Warlords on curve. Now, of course, this deck wants to go second. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a card, put card at the bottom. I don't think I ever put cards at the top. Like, there's almost no reason to ever put a card at the top unless like every card in your hand is good, which is just not normally very likely. So yeah, I think right here is when you just be a little bit aggressive to King. King is a deck that can't really perform very well when it's heavily pressured. So our goal is just to put as much pressure as possible. If all of these characters do survive, then we're going to swing like 777. But if we do find like an ace or something like that, then we're going to go ahead and swing probably like 555 and then obviously 7, and then still get 3 cards out of hand, and then probably a life done as well. So King's going to go ahead and swing 6 into life. We're going to go ahead and counter that with the law right there, just in case we find a gecko, we can get the law back to our hand. And wow, look at that, we found the gecko. So I think this is where we just swing 666 right here and then play the gecko. And we're going to go ahead and draw a card. That's the ace right there. So we're actually not even at 7 done, so we can't use it just yet. We're going to go ahead and put the pudding at the very bottom of the deck, because this deck doesn't really generate a whole lot of card advantage. That's another problem with King that I found. So I'm going to go ahead and swing 6 into life right here. The goal is to swing 6 into life, 6 into life, and then play the gecko, use the starter deck Nami's effect to go ahead and put the last Dawn on my crocodile, and get a 2k back to hand. That's pretty much the goal of the deck right there. As you can tell, I'm watching The Big Bang Theory, like I said, on the second monitor, and it was a little bit too loud, so I had to lower it a little bit. And 6 into life, yeah, exactly as I said. And this deck is very good at just like, you know, going really wide and using its rush characters to kind of add some extra pressure. Now this guy's playing Guild Tesoro, a card that I tried to play in Red Purple Luffy for a long time. It wasn't really working out too well, but this card, I think there has to be a meta where this card is good. It's literally a draw 2. Problem is it doesn't have a counter. If this card had a counter, it'd be absolutely insane. But you know, I love seeing everyone kind of trying to make these decks work. I've tried like a Navy engine, like a mixed Navy engine and an Animal Kingdom Pirates engine with the King. Didn't really work out too well, but I've tried pretty much everything right here. He's going to swing 7 into the crocodile, and I believe I let this one go. Unless actually I go into... Unless I want to go into Kid Killer and go really aggressive. I don't. I'm actually going to go ace and be a little bit aggressive here. So he's going to go ahead and not attack with Kid, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he doesn't attack with Kid. And then I have the ace ready to go. Replace the Sengoku minus both of the big characters. Use my starter deck Nami effect to attach a Don to the Marco. I'll go ahead and put a... I believe I put the Law at the bottom because I want to use the Pilaf next turn as a way to get... some advantage back. And I already have 2 2Ks with 3 life, so I know for a fact he doesn't have any way of like possibly killing me next turn. So that's why I go ahead and do that right there. That's why I go ahead and put the 2K back instead of the Pilaf, even though technically Pilaf is a dead card. But you always want to plan for the future. So I found like when you're running low on cards with this deck, the best thing that you want to do is just try to find a way to like get a little bit more value, even if it means replacing like your 2K that you already have. It just depends on the situation that you're in. Now I actually made a mistake right here. I attacked 6 into life when I should have just attacked 5 and 7, because he's already at a point where he's really low on cards, and he already used his blocker. So I should have done 5 and then 7, because he's at a lower life threshold, and it's better when you're putting pressure to attack for 7s instead of 6s. So that was actually a mistake on my part. I should have done 7s, but I'm just so used to like doing 6s all the way across the board that sometimes I just forget, especially when I'm like not playing on the paying attention too much. Also, my name on here, I just realized, is Play Faster Please, because holy shit, guys, like I can't tell you how many times I've seen people like take like 5 minutes for their turn to decide to counter one attack. I'm like, bro, like it is not that hard. Like just please. And it like actually like tilts me a little bit. But he's gonna go into Kaido right here. Kaido's gonna go ahead and pop the gecko. I assume he's gonna use his Guild Tesoro's effect to draw 2. Either way, it doesn't really matter, because you know he has 0 life and 0 blockers, so he better have every 2K in the entire existence of the world. But he's gonna go Kaido. Kaido's gonna swing 10 into the ace. Ace is probably gonna go, but I have a 15k into life and then 2 5Ks, so it's about all he can do. I'm gonna go ahead and counter with the Jozu right here, and then he's gonna swing 10 into the ace, I believe. And yeah, either way I automatically win. Actually, no, I don't think I win here. You know what's crazy? I don't think I win here, guys. I think he has a Blast Breath in his hand. I believe he has a Blast Breath in his hand. So I don't think I win this game. Oh my god, this would be funny. No, maybe I do. I don't know. Hold on. This clip's about to end, so I assume I do win. I'm not sure. But I go ahead and put the peel off at the bottom now because I know for a fact that... Oh, never mind, bro. I don't put the peel off at the bottom. I'm crazy, bro. I'm absolutely psycho. So I go 9 here just in case. And then I go 9 again. No, I go 8 because I want to peel off just in case I don't actually get through. Or I go 7 and then I just win. So yeah, let's go to the next clip. Holy crap. I'm sorry, guys. Funny enough, on this video right here, I was actually watching Yu Yu Hakusho in the background. And I was like... I was listening to the audio whenever I was like shoutcasting, commentating this game. And it was like, I just used all my energy to recover. And I'm like, what was I watching? It sounded like porn for a second. Oh my god, bro. So yeah, I go ahead and go Marco's effect. I put 1 down on him at first to see if I can find like one of my 1-cost characters like Nami or Sengoku. I already have Jinbei's effect, which is really nice. So I go 5 into life right here. And normally Pudding does not take their first hit, which is smart because this deck loses to pressure just like every other deck in this set. And I go ahead and go Jinbei into Doflamingo. Now I could have gone Crocodile here, but I only have 1 2K, and I just took the first life for free. So I want to make sure that that is not what... I want to make sure that like I can survive a little bit. But my top cards were very interesting, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw the stack that I just did, but I went Jinbei into Doflamingo, and then Doflamingo, funny enough, just found me 2 other kid killers. Now, I was playing 4 at this point. I decided to cut it because it was just clogging heavily, as you guys can see right here. I had drew into all 4 of them. He goes 9 into life. I go ahead and block with the Doflamingo because I don't want to go down too low. And this is when I can really start spamming the board. So I go 6 into life right here. And then see if he takes it. He does take it. And then I go 6 into life right here after I use my effect, of course. I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to put probably the peel off at the bottom. At this point, I'm not going to play the peel off anytime soon. So I'm going to swing 6 into life. And because I know Kid Killer's coming up like indefinitely, basically, over the next like 5 turns, I'm going to be just dropping Kid Killer over and over again. I think that's pretty much the play from this point on. And this is where Pudding starts to really struggle, by the way. I'm going to have a video coming out on that pretty soon. But this mid game right here, like they play 1 big body per turn, and then like in their mid game, they play like something to ramp even further, like a 6-cost Katakuri. So that's a huge problem, right? Is since they play a 6-cost Katakuri, I go ahead and use the both my 2Ks that I get, by the way, to counter out of this, because I want to use the Pudding to basically reset his hand and be very, 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 very aggressive. But yeah, that's a huge problem for Pudding, guys. It's like he just doesn't have enough pressure to like realistically get to like win the game. And this is where like holy shit, like this is crazy. So I go 5 into life right here. Make him discard a bunch of cards. 5 into life. Yeah, it's just too much pressure for the Pudding to take. And then I go 5 into the Onami because I don't have a lot of counter in hand. So I'm like, I don't want him to like do any like crazy shit. Then he goes Sanji, and then I go 7 into life. And then he goes ahead, and I believe he just blocks with the Sanji. And like, this is just so bad for Pudding. Like I said, like Pudding loses hard to aggro. So like this deck is able to really be aggressive really early, especially if you go Jinbei Warlord. And then like you can follow up like I said with the Kid Killer, the Ace. Like just having those, having the ability to clear the board with the Ace, or to be, like be very aggressive with the Ace and or the Kid Killer, is just something that's like really, it's like absolutely crazy, bro. Like it's so crazy to me, like how you can win these games like so quickly with these cards. So I'm going to go ahead and be very aggressive again. So I'm going to go 5 into life. He's going to go ahead and counter. I'm going to go 6. I'm going to actually use it on the white beard, I believe. I'm going to put the Weevil at the bottom. I'm going to go 6 into his 5k Newgate now. Good way to control the board. I'm going to go 5 into his life right there. He's going to go ahead and take it. And I'm going to go Kid Killer, swing 7. He's going to go ahead and take it. And I go Kid Killer, swing 7. And I don't know if he dies right here or if he counters out, but either way, like he's pretty much just toast either way. Man, bro, this is just so bad for the Pudding. And I like, this is the one flaw I have with Pudding. And while I do not like decks that like trash life, I think that's really annoying. I do think Pudding is an interesting leader because you can see their triggers. I prefer that, honestly. It's like a ramp deck that trashes life. It doesn't have the same upsides and downsides as like a deck like Enel and Katakuri. So I think it is a much more fair designed card or a leader because it does require ramp cards and it's like very squishy and fragile. So like it can it's like high risk, high reward. But yeah, this is pretty much the end of the game right here. He has 1 life, 0 cards in hand, and that's it. But yeah, let me go into the breakdown real quick, and then we'll talk to you guys about it. Overall, I would say that of all the leaders in set 8, this is probably, oh, I'm sorry, I accidentally just spit right there. This is probably the best one right now. Now, I think other decks have higher potential. Like, I think King has high potential. I think Pudding definitely has high potential. But this one right now, I feel like is the most ready to like take on the meta. And it's very crazy to say that. All the decks are kind of mid in their own way in set 8, but this is probably the best of the best. So if you guys like it, let me know. Trust me, guys, like if I see comments like, oh, have you tried the Whitebeard Pirates? Have you tried? Bro, I have tried everything with this deck. I've tried like generic, Sanji things, like Sanji into, playing white, another 9-cost character. I have literally tried every single way to make this work, and I think this is probably the best version for right now. Like I said, give it a try, see if you like it. Come back to the video and tell me how it goes, or talk to me in the Discord about it. Link's gonna be in the description below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.